we are proud to present Billy McComiskey, Family and Friends.
for Brendan. That's our grandson down there. Hi, guys. So, we're just having way too much fun. We're all down at the Library of Congress today. And boy, oh boy, outside of the heat. Well, we won't even complain about it. I already complained about the heat, but we won't complain about it anymore. Are you having a good time? Thank you. We started off with 3 reels there. They were all pretty much from Galway. The Hare's Paw was kind of right in the middle. We used to love playing that one up in Brooklyn. In fact, in Brooklyn they called it, "Hey, it's the Hare's Foot." That's true. And then the other 2 were made famous by the Ballinakil Cayley Band, who were from East Galway. What are we going to do, Myron? Let's have a hand for Myron Brethel, who's been helping us here.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here. And we hope you like Irish music, because that's what you'll be hearing for the next hour here, specifically Irish dance music. And of the kind that was played very often and still played a lot in a little pub up Connecticut Avenue that a friend of ours used to run. He's here tonight. I want to give a big shout out to our dear friend Brian Gaffney back there. Brian, thanks for coming out tonight, all the way from Tralee. Brian is a great supporter of the music and a great musician and singer himself. So Brian, thank you for being here. And we'll play 2 jigs now. And the first one is it's called Hi There, Brendan and Gavin. Those are Billy's and Annie's grandkids. They're very shy and reserved, so they're coming out of their shell just now. The first tune is called Will You Come Home With Me? And that's a rhetorical question, but that's the name of the tune. And the second tune is called Ohm's Law, as in if you're into electrical currents, Ohm's Law is a law of electricity. And it was written by the man to my immediate right here, who's a great writer of tunes as well, Billy McComiskey, and it featured on the second album by Trion, which is Billy, Liz Carroll, and Dahi Sproul. So 2 jigs, Will You Come Home With Me and Ohm's Law. Well, then I'm taking my toys and going home myself.
What is the first one now? Go ahead, you go.
very much. Hey, so before we go any farther here, I think this would be a great time to put your hands together for an amazing crew here at the Kennedy Center who made us feel so welcome and did a great job setting up sound. Bob on the sound, Chandler on the lights, and Sarika, if you're still here, our hostess. Thank you, Kennedy Center, for making it all happen. It's a great room to play in. And I mean, Irish music, people think of it as pub music, which it is too, but today it's been Library of Congress music and Kennedy Center music, and it's a real honor to be in both of these great edifices here. So, 2 hornpipes are next. First one's called Kilcooley Wood, and the second one is a very common tune that dancers like to dance to a lot called The Boys of Blue Hill. So 2 hornpipes for you.
Okay, you guys go ahead because I'm already at the last time.
So it's lovely and nice, isn't it? It's just the old music from Ireland. It's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, and we all just love it. I don't even I barely remember the first time I heard it. My parents actually went out on their first date in the Catskill Mountains to hear an Irish accordion player named Joe Durain. Any of you ever hear of Joe Durain? There you go. Joe was great. He made a bunch of recordings back in the 1940s, and he was the player in Irish America. And it was maybe about 10 or 15 years after that the great Joe Cooley came out to the United States. And I don't know, I might have been about 11 years old. And the first time I heard Joe Cooley, I thought, holy mother of God, I really want to learn how to do that. And then I heard a man by the name of Paddy O'Brien, who's from Neenah, County Tipperary. And his music is just, as far as I was concerned for the Irish accordion, just about as beautiful as it could get. And except then I heard this other guy, just slightly younger than Paddy O'Brien. His name is Joe Burke. Did you ever hear of Joe Burke? And Joe is, boy, we have a few box people here. So Joe Burke is from East Galway. Oh, Paddy O'Brien was from Neenah in County Tipperary. And he was the guy that kind of showed the way and developed the technique for the Irish accordion. Oh, did we introduce the musicians yet? I don't know. Did we? No. This is my son, Pat McComiskey. They're his two sons down there, the best little boys in the world. They're with my wife, Annie, down there. Pat is an engineer by trade, but he learned to play the whistle from the likes of Joni Madden and Kathleen Keneally and the great Mary Bergen, the great whistle player. These are like, if you were obsessed with Irish music, these are the people, these are the heroes, these are the ones. That's Mikey McComiskey right there. Mikey's going to Towson University. He's an IT guy, but he loves playing the box too and ultimate frisbee. Okay, and then see this little gadget here. This is called an Anglo concertina, and this is my niece Katrina Fee, my sister's daughter. She keeps winning these competitions on this concertina. She actually learned from a girl right here in the Washington area, Alex Boatwright, who's like a phenomenal cellist and a magnificent music teacher and an excellent concertina player. And that's her sister right there beside her. That's Angela with the fiddle. And she learns from Rose Conway. And the two of them were just up in New York last weekend, and they were at the Flock Hill, the qualifying competitions for the All-Ireland Championship in Ennis this summer. And they won their age group as a duet. They're like a beautiful, they play beautiful duet music. So let's one more round of applause. And that's Sean McComiskey there all the way at the end. He had a test today. He tells me to not say he's in medical school, but he's in the University of Maryland School of Medicine, and he's pursuing a doctorate in physical therapy. Did I get it right? There you go. And he's a very, very, very good box player. And this is our youngest son, Josh Dukes, on the end. Josh and I actually are both what would be called All-Ireland champions. We went over and won. I won the accordion competition in 1986. And then what year did you win? Did you win the 2009? Josh went over with the guitar, and actually Sean was actually playing with him. So would it be putting you guys on the spot to just maybe? Just completely out of the blue. I told you about the other two, but we'll forget about that. Would you like to hear these two guys? Come on. Oh, and this guy over here, this is Myron Bretholtz. Bretholtz, and we'd all be lost with. In fact, I did get lost without him. He came over in another car, and I got lost.
That's because my bumper sticker on the back of my car says, "Don't follow me, I'm lost too," so we both got lost. But anyway, thank you, Billy. So we're going to give it over to Sean and Josh right there now, who are also both members of the Old Bay Cayley Band, by the way, if you heard of them. And real quick, before they play, Josh is also on a new album with another champion, Dylan Foley. The album's called The New York Connection, and it's a hot number, and you're going to want to hear that. It's a great album, too, with Sean playing on the album. So with that, Sean McComiskey and Josh Dukes.
So we'll actually play the two jigs that won Josh the All-Ireland. So this is, the first tune is a tune called When the Cock Crows It Is Morning, which is a story about staying up all night playing tunes, and followed up with a lovely tune in A that I can't remember the name of.
Sean McComiskey, Josh Dukes.
Let's have another round of applause for them. I think they did that. So let's see. There's 3 accordions up here, so I guess we have to play some polkas. And in Ireland they love polkas too. It's part of the sleeve lucra tradition, and that's a lovely thing. This sleeve lucra area would be kind of Cork and Kerry and Limerick, the 3 counties. It's kind of hilly up there. And my grandmother is actually my grandmother Nora Sweeney is actually from County Limerick, so we're kind of we're kind of stuck right in there with the sleeve lucre guys. So this first tune is I first heard it from the playing of the great Jackie Daly. Actually, and Jackie and I think Dennis Duty might have played it too. Jackie is from County Cork, lovely accordion player, and he plays all the time with Matt Cranich, another really great player, great scholar as well. Dennis Duty, the late Dennis Duty, was from County Kerry, and he was actually out here at the Bicentennial Folk Festival down in the mall. He was a really great player. There's a lot of fire in these tunes. But there was a couple of men that came down to Washington in the 1970s, and they both box players, and there was a fiddle player too. There was a Father Lou Thompson, a priest, and who knows Lou? Let's have a hand for Lou Thompson. So great, lovely, and Mark Quinn. Mark Quinn counted his money one day. He was living in Rockaway, and he was playing in the bars in Rockaway, and he counted his money, and he went to the train down in Manhattan. And he said, how far can I get with this money? He says, well, you have $60 there. You could probably make it to Washington. So he came down. And when he got off the train, he says, take me to an Irish bar. And he ended up in Matt Cain's. Do any guys remember Matt Cain's? Yeah, that was before the Dubliners, so it was pretty cool. And Peggy Reardon was from the Bronx. And her father, Jack Reardon, was a lovely session player. So we're not exactly sure the name of this second polka, but it's really popular here. In the States. It was really popular amongst the old players in New York. So we'll just call it Lou Thompson's for now, okay? Good.
And we like to put these out to Patsy and Bob there, because Patsy is a cousin of our friend Mike Quinn, not Mark Quinn. And also to Mike's mom, Patsy's aunt, Rita Quinn, whose favorite rallying cry at all the pubs was Up Kerry. So this is Up Kerry for Rita Quinn and her family. All right, so we're going to feature another a trio now, and it features not only Mikey McComiskey on the accordion, but these two young ladies here, just to show you how vibrant the music is. We've got people on stage here who are a little bit more mature. I don't mean behavior, but I mean age. And that would be like people this age, at this end of the stage. Then we have people like Angela and Katrina who are going into the 10th grade. Do I have that right? And they're burning it up with the music, the Pearl River School of Music in Pearl River, New York. They just won the duet championship in Parsippany this past weekend. And wouldn't you like to hear Angela and Katrina and Mikey play a couple tunes together? So Mikey will introduce it for you there.
Hello, hello, hello. Is this on? Hello. There we go. Hello. Having a good time? Yeah? Yeah? Oh, yeah. All right, so we're going to play a set of jigs for you guys. The first jig is I buried my wife and then danced on her grave. So it's kind of funny. And then the second jig that we're going to play is Jim Ward's. And both of these tunes are pretty common session tunes in the Baltimore, D.C. area. So here we go.
Well, we can only hope that you're having maybe even half as much fun as we're having up here, because it's just, I guess you can see it. It's really infectious. It's lovely how the Irish music is doing so well. But I've enjoyed it my whole life. It's just been a lot. It's just been great fun. But I love writing tunes. It's a gift to write a tune. I don't know where it isn't a skill. You have the gift and then you don't. I actually can't write a tune anymore. I don't know what happened. But I was lucky enough to write tunes. I don't know, for maybe 40 years or so. So it was like a really new thing. Thank you. Not a lot of them. I'm no Beethoven. I don't think I'm any Beethoven. But so I wrote this waltz for our friend Dan Isaacson. He's a piper, and he has a lovely fiance, his fiance Kelly, and he had a diamond. He showed me this diamond, and he says, could you write me and Kelly a nice waltz so that we could dance on our wedding day? And I said, yeah, I'll give that a shot. I'll try to do that. And he showed me this diamond that he had gotten from his grandmother. She had escaped from Nazi Germany, and the only thing that she was able to get out, the only possession that she had, when she came to America, and she got to live a nice, long, full life. And the single thing that she had was this diamond, and she gave it to Dan. So I just thought that was a lovely gesture and a lovely story. So I just named this tune The Diamond, and my friend in Ireland, Breed Harper, the lovely Donegal fiddle player, just recorded it. So now it's a legitimate tune, so we can play it too. And we'll pair it with a tune by the great, the absolutely stunning great, the patriarch of them all, Turlough O'Carolan, wrote this lovely tune in 3/4 times. We play like a waltz, and it's called Fanny Power. Isn't that pretty? Really nice, isn't it? So that's how lucky we are. We have that kind of music going on all the time. My friend Liz Carroll is going to be here for the Smithsonian Folklife Festival. You guys know that? She's unbelievable. She's like a genius. She's really, really a great player. She wrote this next tune, and she wrote it when her son was learning how to read, and he was reading a book about dinosaurs. And so when he got to this one and he was trying to say it, he said, Diplodocus. That's what he said. So he was going for that Diplodocus one, but he was only about 5 or 6. So he said the Diplodocus. And it's funny, not only is the tune played all over the world, but the name of the tune is mispronounced all over the world too. I have a student in Moscow. He's an Olympic weightlifter, an amazing, great big fellow. He loves to play the accordion. And he says, it's really, when they played the Diplodocus over here and they mispronounced the name, and I know that you're supposed to mispronounce it, but a lot of people wonder why they can't say Diplodocus. Why is that wrong? And I don't know. But it's something that's true. So here you go. Sean, Pat and I will play it for you here, okay?
Just this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We remind you, by the way, that since it's now, June 28th, well, we're a little bit past the 6-month mark till Christmas. And what better time than June to stuff your stockings with CDs Yeah, it's a bald-faced sales ploy, but I believe Billy's CD's back there on the left past the sound desk. And you might want to amble back there and check it out after we're done. It's called Outside the Box, and it has Liz Carroll on it. It has yours truly on it. John Doyle produced it, and I think it's a pretty good album. I'm not impartial, because Billy's like my brother, but I still think it's a good album, and I hope you do too. Anyway, we're going to play a couple slip jigs here. For those of you who don't know, slip jigs are like jigs with three extra measures put in. 9/8 is the time signature, so they're very popular on September 8th for some reason. First tune is called On Kind of an... Yeah, right. It's not a comedy show. You probably worked that out already. The first tune is called The Count of Anvana, which is the Irish for the Little Fair Canavans. The second tune is named Redican's Mother, after Larry Redican, his mother. And it's a version of an old slip jig, probably from Leitrim, called the Barony. But Larry Redican was in a famous trio with Paddy O'Brien, who Billy mentioned, and Jack Cohen, the great East Galway flute player, back in New York in the 60s and into the 70s. And the tune is often called after him. So 2 slip jigs, The Count of Anvana and Redican's Mother. only have time for one more, and we want to thank you for being a lovely crowd here in this beautiful building, the Kennedy Center. The Millennium stage has free music, literally, I believe, every night of the year. And we thank the Kennedy Center for keeping the music available. A lot of local groups. We're mostly based in Baltimore, Northern Virginia. And it's a pleasure to be here at the Kennedy Center. Thanks again to Bob on sound. Please put your hands together for Bob, doing a great job. Chandler on the lights. Sarika, thank you for your hospitality. And real quick, Josh Dukes on guitar. Sean McComiskey on accordion. Angela Fee on fiddle. And by the way, for those of you who keep track of these things, that fiddle comes all the way from China. That fiddle was made in China, believe it or not. So there you go. But it's playing Irish music tonight. Katrina Fee on concertina. Mikey McComiskey on the accordion. Pat McComiskey on tin whistle. My name is Myron Bretholtz. I play the percussion, Bauer on Irish drum. And last and certainly not least, the man himself, the man of the hour, the man of the year, our favorite accordion player with his three sons here too. Aren't accordions great when they're in the hands of Billy McComiskey? Ladies and gentlemen, Billy McComiskey, Brooklyn, New York, Baltimore, Maryland. We are the Billy McComiskey and friends. Thank you. We'll finish with the Fox Hunter and the Silver Spear for you. Thank you very much.